Okay. Hello, everyone. Put that one so I can clear screen. I'm Scott Brassart. I'm the Director of Online Education for Seeking Integrity. Um, as one of the things that I do with our work group program, we have a weekly work group alumni group. It's a free group that meets on Tuesday nights for guys who completed some of our online work groups, or all of them. Some certain guys. And they wanted to stay in touch with us. So we started this free group that meets on Tuesdays. I always start our group off. I facilitate the group with a reading from this book, Sex and Porn Addiction Healing and Recovery, which does not list an author, but I assure you he's brilliant. Um, can't imagine who he is, but
Was
uh,
to say, let's say who it is.
so um, So we started off, I'm going to start you guys off with this reading because it sparked a discussion that we're going to basically continue this morning. So the reading, this is actually the October 31st reading. It's a daily reader for sex addicts in recovery. Um, and it says, typically, it's not any specific sexual or romantic act that causes the most pain for our significant others and damage to our relationships. The worst of the pain and damage is caused by our ongoing deception, emotional distancing, secrets, and the resulting loss of relationship trust. For our partners, the emotional pain and loss associated with broken trust are significantly more agonizing and longer lasting than any actual physical or emotional straying we have done. The consequences of our betrayal begin and end with broken trust, and those consequences abate only when trust is restored. So that's the bulk of the reading that I gave the guys yesterday. And it sparked a discussion about restoring trust, rigorous honesty, and the shortcomings that a lot of guys still have with it. Um, and I thought, you know what? I want to do the webinar on this topic tomorrow. I want to validate the experience that betrayed partners often have. At the same time, I want to explain to addicts and betrayed partners why addicts sometimes still struggle with this and why. So I'm actually calling this session "Why Recovering Addicts Are Still Full of BS Sometimes."
That's a
So
great title.
yeah. Um, so I want to start us out by talking about relationship trust. This is about 25 or more years ago. Dr. Rob did some research with a couple other therapists who were working in the sex addiction field. The internet was becoming a thing, and they wanted to know um, in-person cheating versus online cheating, which is more hurtful. And what they found is they're equally hurtful, which they thought was interesting. So they also explored, well, why is it equally hurtful? And what they found was it's not so much what the addict or the cheater does, it's the lies and secrets that cause the most and longest lasting pain. And we find this to be almost universally true. Betrayed partners experience symptoms, and this is again research, symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder universally. They may or may not have PTSD, but they have symptoms. Um, and the biggest of those symptoms is struggling to trust. Um, and in terms of relationship repair, the statement in there, until trust is restored, you're not going to have your relationship repaired. So um, this sparked our discussion yesterday. Um, and it also, I just want to give you Dr. Rob's definition of infidelity, which came out of that study, which is the keeping of important secrets from your primary partner. That's how Dr. Rob Weiss defines infidelity. The keeping of important, he will say sexual and romantic secrets if he's talking about sexual or romantic infidelity, but infidelity in general, you can commit financial infidelity, all kinds of infidelity. It's the keeping of important secrets from your primary partner. That's what matters, the loss of relationship trust. It's less about the act and more about the loss of trust. So I was talking to the guys, and we started out talking yesterday about rigorous honesty. Tell the truth, tell it faster. Don't wait for your partner to ask. Volunteer the information. Okay? Tell the whole truth, not just the part they already know about. Um, answer the question they ask and the six follow-up questions your partner doesn't know they should ask. Um, and most of all, understand that secrets are lies, lies, because a lot of guys they get in recovery and they're like, "Well, I'm not lying," and I say, "Are you telling the truth?" Well, you know. Um, so this was kind of our kickoff. The guys understand the need for rigorous honesty, but they struggle with it sometimes. And that's what I want to talk about. So here are some of the things I heard yesterday from the guys. I actually was scribbling furiously because I was like, ah, um, this is one of the guys said, I'm definitely honest now. Yeah, maybe sometimes I slightly twist the absolute truth, but you know, um, and this is an ongoing issue for a lot of recovering sex and porn addicts. I tell the truth to a certain extent, but then I stop, or I manipulate it a little so I don't look so bad. This is not rigorous honesty, okay? This is not how you restore relationship trust. Um, some similar things I heard, and I tell her as much of the truth as she can handle.
Oh,
And I will tell you now, I dropped an F bomb on that one. I was like, what the are you talking about? I tell her as much of the truth as she can handle. Um, I don't tell her the truth because I don't want to hurt her anymore. Um, I just want a nice, peaceful house so I control the flow of information. Um, when I lie or keep secrets, it's to control what other people think of me. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
mhm.
Um, I'm too scared to be proactive. Meaning, I'm too scared to be proactive. Ask her what's wrong. And this is one that came up. A lot of times, I can tell my wife is angry, but she's not saying anything. And I'm like, "Do you ask?" And they say, "Oh hell no, no. I want a nice, peaceful house. I'm too scared to rock the boat." What all these statements boil down to is, I, as an addict, am worried about your reaction. I mean, I don't want to hurt her anymore. No, I don't want her to be angry at me anymore. I tell her as much of the truth as I can handle. No, I tell her as much of the truth as I think I can handle, in terms of her response or your response. I will tell you, I can handle X amount of anger, so I will tell you what will get you to X and no further. And then I shut up and I tell myself, she can't handle anymore. You can't handle anymore. So I'm being nice. Or I tell myself, I don't want to hurt you anymore. So I'm being nice. That's BS. I can't handle anymore. So I'm lying and keeping secrets. Um, this is the crux of it. This is the crux of addiction, by the way. I am emotionally fragile and scared and broken in a lot of ways. I'm afraid of you. I love you. You matter to me. And the fact that I love you and you matter to me means you can hurt me. You can be mad. You can get angry. You can reject me. You can walk out and never come back. And I can't handle that. So I control the flow of information. I tell you what I think you want to hear. I show you what I think you want to see. I put on a mask and I lie and I keep secrets about the truth. You know, I guess how angry you'll be and I tell the truth to the point where I can handle your rejection. And this is a crummy thing to do because it means I am manipulating your feelings and the degree of your response, or I'm trying to manipulate your feelings and the degree of your response. Um, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me when I lie and keep secrets. I tell myself I'm worried about you. Oh, I don't want her to cry. She's so hurt. What? No, I don't want to feel the things I don't want to feel. And what I don't want to feel is shame. My lies and my secrets come from my shame. Shame is this internal sense that I am defective, I'm unworthy of love, I'm not good enough. Whatever good enough is, whatever enough is, I am not it. I will always come up short. Um, and I have, one of my personal core beliefs, if you see the real me, you will run away screaming. You will run away like your hair's on fire if you see the real me. So I learned to hide. I learned to show you my mask and not me. If I tell you the truth, it will be painful for me because I am horrible. This is where my lies and secrets come from. It's my shame. But shame is the mortal enemy of intimacy. Shame begets lies and secrets. Lies and secrets prevent true emotional connection. I'll ask guys, how many of your wives have looked at you or husbands have looked at you and said, I don't even know who you are. And almost every hand goes up. And it's because we addicts have been lying and keeping secrets, putting on the mask for so long that nobody can know who we are. We don't even know who we are. Now, the sad part of that is, if I get you to fall in love with me because I have a mask on, you love my mask. My mask gets lots of love and validation and feels great, but I am not my mask. I am still this shame-based person who feels like if you see the real me, you're going to run away. So even after I'm unmasked, even after I'm caught, I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid that you will hurt me. So I control the flow of information. I lie, I keep secrets. I tell myself I'm not. I tell myself I'm definitely honest now, but maybe sometimes I slightly twist the absolute truth. That's a direct quote. And it made me laugh out loud. I was like, what the are you talking about? Um, and the one that I tell her as much of the truth as she can handle. I mean, so addicts, if you're listening, stop it. That is not rigorous honesty. Partners, if you're listening, I want to validate your experience because betrayed partners are constantly like, no, you're still holding back. And, sometimes we are. And this is sometimes, this is not 24/7 through 65. Um, but sometimes addicts are still full of BS, and we need to, as addicts, we need to work on it. We need to become aware, of our lies and our secrets, um, particularly with our partner, but in general, I mean, you know, I I I would go to a restaurant. I didn't realize how much I lied until I got into recovery. And then one day I caught myself at a restaurant saying, ordering my burger and say, no mayonnaise. I'm definitely allergic to mayonnaise. I am not allergic to mayonnaise at all. I just don't like it. I'm allergic to tomatoes, but I can pick those off. But mayonnaise, you can't pick it off. I mean, and so I would lie. Instead of saying, I really, really hate mayonnaise, I will send the burger back if it comes with mayonnaise. I lied. And, the other point I want to make is after a betrayal, after relationship trust has been damaged, I know I'm kind of all over the place here. Um, After relationship trust has been damaged, any lie is a big lie. It's not just, did you cheat on me? No, when you did. That's a big lie. It's, did you take the garbage out? Oh, yeah. And then you sneak out the side door and take the garbage out. That's as big a lie as the big lie after betrayal. There is no, when trust is damaged, and any breach of trust will trigger the full betrayal, breach of trust. So addicts, a little lie is going to get a big response. Understand this. Betrayed partners, that makes sense. I want to validate you. Okay, yeah, it's the trash. It doesn't seem like a big deal. But in the context of your relationship, if he's lying about the trash, what else is he lying about? You know, these questions come up. So I don't know if there's a point other than rigorous honesty means rigorous honesty. Tell the truth, the whole truth. And we as addicts don't get to hold anything back. Um, because that's a secret and secrets are lies. So anyway, Tammy, thoughts? I know you're strong on this too.
I am, and a lie of omission is still a lie. And I don't think there is a little lie like taking out the trash. It's like it's still a lie, and the repercussions of it, are
Yeah,
a way are the same level. It's going to be like you, and like you said, and out of the doghouse, Dr. Rob, has the example of you lied about taking out the trash, and it ended the
yeah,
relationship because if I can't trust you for that, what else I can. And what addicts don't understand is when I'm keeping up that facade and I'm not willing to be vulnerable and create intimacy, I will never experience what real relationships are about, because I'm always holding up this. And if you really knew who I was, you're going to run away. I was kind of laughing because I was like, oh, did you run away with your hair on fire? Because you don't have any. But anyway, that's a little aside. But
yeah,
no, it's one of those things where, we crave connection and we're so afraid of it. So it's like, come here, go away, come here, go away,
yeah.
but addicts don't like having interrogations. So that's what it feels like,
Right.
interrogations of the 6 questions.
Mhm.
If we're just truthful, and if we have to pause for a moment, like it's okay to pause and go, let me think. I want to
Yeah,
make sure that I'm not editing.
yeah.
And and a
And to
partner
that,
will
oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Go, no, please.
Well, to that point, and this is one of the things I wanted to add is it was hard for me as an addict to break the habit of lying. It was so ingrained. I mean, that's why I tell the mayonnaise on the burger story. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, that is true. I used to do that. Uh, you know, and it took me quite a while to break the habit. So if you're in a relationship and the addict is trying to become more truthful, one of the things that we sometimes suggest is a 24-hour grace period. If I lie or keep a secret, I have 24 hours to amend the lie or come clean with the secret. If it takes me 23 hours and 59 minutes, so be it. You can still get mad about what I did, what I was lying about, but you're not going to get mad that it took me 23 hours and 59 minutes to get there. 24 hours and 1 minute, you have two things to get mad about. So this grace period helps addicts. It's like, okay, crap, I did it again. I mean, 3 hours ago when I answered the question this way, can I have a second take? Yeah, because I wasn't entirely truthful. I I may have twisted the absolute truth. You know, so that's a
A better
healthy
way to say
boundary
is
for
I did
couples.
twist the absolute truth, not I
Yeah,
may have, like I
yeah,
realize I twisted the truth, like
yeah,
that's I've recognized that. I'm taking accountability. May is
yeah.
I'm gonna push on that one because I'm like that's still a little bit like,
You're
well,
so
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm sure this resonates with so many of you partners of like, oh my gosh, but here, Scott, I'm confident he doesn't go to a restaurant now and order a burger and say he's
I
allergic to
don't.
mayonnaise. We can learn to do things differently. And he has shared very openly that when he was earlier in on this journey, he would go to his Fawcett meeting and lie and he'd catch
Oh
himself.
yeah,
That's what it happens is we learn to catch ourselves. And yes, it may be 23 hours and 59 minutes the first time. Hopefully it gets quicker. Like you said, the 3 hours ago when I said that, I recognize that that was not, the complete, truth. And I want to share that with you, and yes, partners,